This is an example that when you do an intervention, you must have your I's dotted and your T's crossed, because an intervention can go left very quickly. Let's talk about it. Hey, what's up everybody, and welcome back to KRSTV. This is your boy Kenny. Now remember, subscribe to my channel and click that bell so you get notifications every time I drop a video. Also follow all the information I have in the description box as well as the comment section. Also like this video, comment on this video, and share this video. Now before I get started with this review, let me send a shout out to Metro Health DC, forgive me, y'all. If you're in the DMV area and you're looking for quality health care, reach out to Metro Health DC today. Their number is in the description box in the comment section, and there's also a form that you can fill out, and someone from the outreach team will be in touch with you. Also, let me send a special shout out to GMHC. If you are in the DMV area and would like to get tested for HIV, reach out to the GMHC crew for a home testing kit. You can have the kit mailed to you, or you can call and make a same-day appointment and come to our location to pick one up. And if you're interested in getting set up with PrEP, which is HIV prevention medication, reach out to the GMHC crew for that as well. Also, if you're a fan of KRSTV and would like to become one of my Black Diamonds, subscribe to my Patreon, Black Diamonds, because in darkness we still shine. For $5 a month, you'll get all of my YouTube content, as well as videos specifically for the Black Diamonds, and some of those videos I will share on YouTube just to give people an idea of what Black Diamonds is all about. Also, let me send a shout out to my YouTube partner, BK WorldTube, which is the Black Netflix. You get shows like The Haves and the Have-Nots and Love and Hip Hop. So after you watch this review, click that link in the description box and comment section to check out BK WorldTube. Now this is Pose Season 3, Episode 2, and the name of this episode is Intervention. Man, this episode was gag-worthy like a motherfucker, y'all. And I don't say that lightly at all. This episode had me gagged, because this episode, the whole premise was that they were gonna do an intervention on Praytel, because we saw in the last episode Praytel has been drinking like a fish, and it's to the point where it's out of control. And you know, we've seen that it's affecting his relationship with Ricky. It's affecting his relationship with, you know, with everybody, actually. Because even in this episode, we see that Blanca is having a conversation with Nurse Judy, and Nurse Judy even says that, oh, I haven't talked to fucking Praytel in a minute, because they show them at this funeral. Praytel comes in there completely disheveled, drunk as shit, and Nurse Judy rightfully was upset. Like, dude, show some respect for the dead. You coming up in here looking like this? What the hell is wrong with you? This ain't you. And then, like, they kind of go back and forth, and she's just like, you know what? I can't deal with your shit. I'm leaving. And then he grabs her, is like, oh, you know the deceased Corey? Did you ever date him? Because I did. And she's like, I ain't got time for your self-loathing bullshit. And she just leaves, because it's to the point where Praytel no longer has control of his life. His demons and his insecurities and his fears have literally gotten the best of him. He's no longer hosting the balls anymore. It's just that he's just drinking and he's just withering away. So what ends up happening is that the House of Evangelista meets up with Lisa, who is this psychiatrist from the hospital that Judy recommended to Blanca. And she pretty much suggests that they all write a letter to Pretel and that they need to be prepared for an intervention, because an intervention can go either way. Either they'll be open to it, but a lot of times they're going to be very defensive because they're going to feel attacked. So you had to be ready for that. Child, they weren't ready. They was not ready for Mr. Pretel, child. And trust me, I'm about to get to that. But they come up with a genius idea, and then you got Lulu with her coked out ass, let me rephrase that. You have Lulu with her cracked out ass. It's like we're doing all this for some drunk old queen? Like, seriously? We got better things to worry about. And then Blanca's like, if you don't want to be here, Lulu, your ass can leave. Because we can definitely see that Lulu and Angel still been, having their marijuana with a little bit of crack for the seasoning. Crazy bitches. Anyway, so we also find out in this episode, in this moment, that Damon has relapsed and that he wanted to go stay with a cousin somewhere, I think South Carolina somewhere. I don't remember exactly, or Wisconsin or somewhere like that. And we see that Blanca really feels down in the dumps because she feels she's failed as a mother. But in all actuality, she did all that she could. And she did the best by Damon. But Damon has his own demons to deal with. And Damon's now a grown man. So now it's up to Damon to face his demons and to move forward. And we kind of saw, and it's interesting. I'm really loving Elektra in season 3, because we're starting to see that she's really becoming like a more nurturing mother to Blanca and to the rest of the crew. She's still hard as nails and she's still tough, but she's more about really trying to get her children to see that you need to clean your house up. And you need to have more confidence, and you need to stay focused. So when it came down to this whole situation, Nurse Lisa told them that you're going to have to pay for him to go to a facility. And it runs about like $2,500. They're like, who the fuck got that kind of money? Come Elektra's the upcoming ball, they got 5 categories. And it's $500 per category. So I'm like, oh, the ball scene is now coming with the coin, honey. She says, we have to sweep all 5 categories, and that will give us the $2,500 to send Pretel to rehab. So I'm saying this is the idea of community and family. When one of us is in trouble, we all come together to work something out, so therefore we can care for our loved one. That was beautiful. That was a beautiful idea. And then we see that Miss Elektra is literally overseeing each category, making sure that the people deliver. And but before I talk about Lulu, we have a scene where Lulu and Angel are literally still getting high. They both look fucked up. Lulu telling Angel, girl, you look like shit. I'm like, bitch, and what you think you look like? Cause you definitely, ain't serving model looks either, bitch. Y'all both look fucked up. And then here it is, Poppy's on his way in. They try to hide everything, trying to front like nothing's going on. See, in this scene, Angel and Lulu needed their asses whooped. Because, did y'all forget that Poppy used to be a drug dealer? So Poppy knows when somebody's geeking. He knows something ain't right. And knowing how the fact that y'all trying to put on this front, Poppy wasn't having it. Poppy's like, here it is, I'm trying to build a better life for us, and you up in here doing with this bullshit. And then Lulu tried to show him. He's like, look, Lulu, last time I checked, you don't pay no rent in this bitch. Now if you want to go out into these crack houses and suck dick, then you need to do that, but you need to keep her out of it. And as a matter of fact, you need to roll. And then all of a sudden, Poppy and Angel get into it, and Angel lets out her insecurities. You probably are cheating on me, aren't you? You're going to leave me. That's what this is. And I haven't worked in a long time. And he's like, look, it happens. You're hot one minute, and then you die, and then at a minute you're not as popular. But you got to keep going. But eventually it rises again. You just got to keep going. And we just see that Angel's very insecure. For as beautiful as Angel is, she has a lot of insecurities. And we've known that about Angel since season 1. We knew that about when she was, having that little thing with the married man. We knew it last season when she started, doing cocaine. And now she's, doing crack. But I have to say Lulu is more of an addict than she is, because she knows damn well what she's doing isn't right, but she's really insecure, and Poppy had to let her know, like, boo-boo, you're the only one I want. You're the only woman I want in my life. I'm not cheating on you. I'm not doing any of that. I want to marry you, but I'm not going to marry you if you're going to be doing this bullshit. So we see that they have a really a good moment together. Now this whole situation with Lulu is literally doing Candy's sweet refrain. Rest in peace to Candy. But Lulu is doing Toni Braxton's You Mean the World to Me. And I must say, she had that shake and go church wig on, but it was in the Toni style. And she looked good. And she was doing her little thing, lip syncing. Electra wasn't having it. And the other people on the council, they was like, what's wrong? She's doing good. She's like, it ain't gonna cut it, boo-boo. Because she sees right through the fact that Lulu is on that shit. And she pretty much says that, honey, yeah, it ain't right. This ain't right. So no, I'm scrapping it. You ain't ready for this. And she's like, well, what am I gonna do? Well, she says that, well, pray tell, since we're doing this for Pray Tell ain't doing shit, so we're going to have him do the Candy sweet refrain, for the House of Evangelista. You will be seamstress. Meaning, you're behind the scenes. You are not walking. You need to get your life together, because Mother knows best. Mother loves you, and you need to get your shit together. So that was the last we saw of Lulu. Because, yeah, boo-boo, you've been clocked. As much as you think that don't nobody know, bitch, she knows. She knows that you losing a lot of weight. She knows that, that your drive and your passion's no longer there. Mother knows, honey. Mother knows. So we saw that happen. Then we see that Blanca meets Christopher's parents. And that was a scene like no other, because we see that the father pretty much embraced Blanca, but we can tell that the mother definitely had some shit with her. And we didn't know for certain whether she clocked Blanca at that time. She probably did. It wasn't there, but she mainly was going after Blanca because Blanca came from the ghetto, and that Blanca wasn't as well educated and wasn't as well versed and well experienced as them, because they were pretty much like the Huxtables. They were pretty much an upper class black family, which goes to show you that upper class black families actually do exist. And, she was just kind of making these jabs like, so Blanca, how did you and Christopher meet? Oh, they met. He saw her, escorting a patient. They get in the elevator. He kind of looks, and the next thing you know, they had a scene from Grey's Anatomy where he's screwing her on the wall, honey. I was like, yes! Because Grey's Anatomy, they be fucking throughout the whole hospital. They had that kind of situation. Like, yeah, it was instant connection. So, and they've been riding with each other ever since. And then, we start to see that the mother starts being real snooty and was like, so where did you go? Where did you go to school? And, starts asking these kind of questions like, do you have children, Blanca? And then Blanca was like, I have 4. She's like, And he's like, no, she's a house mother. She's like, oh, so you're playing house. So these kids of yours are really just your friends. I was like, oh, you disrespectful bitch. Just being just downright nasty. But Blanca held herself. But it got to the point where she was like, and then he shares that, oh, well, Blanca used to have her own business as well. And she's like, oh, what kind of business was that? She's like, I used to have my own nail salon. She's like, oh, interesting. She's like, yeah, why don't you call me? And I have those cuticles right in no time. And then all of a sudden she's like, we'll take the check. I'm like, she got you, bitch. I was like, and Blanca just gave that look like, just like you think you clocking me, bitch, I'm clocking you too with them fucked up nails of yours. And you got a nerve to be coming for me. But it was more for the fact that she felt that she wasn't good enough for Christopher because Christopher's a doctor. You know, he has a degree, and because Blanca doesn't have that, she feels that Blanca's not good enough. And then we see later on she talks about it with Angel and Elektra. And Elektra was like, sweetie, I am greatness, I am beauty, and I am grace. And all of those things I put inside of you, Blanca. So why are you letting this old bitch get to you? Because she's saying that, I feel that, and then she starts saying that she thinks Chris is not, that Chris is too good for her, and maybe she's not good enough for him. She's like, see, we ain't doing all that. Because first of all, Chris' ass was the one who brought you to that dinner. Fuck her. You ain't got your issue with her. Your issue was the fact that Chris should have stood up for you in that dinner and should have checked his mama for being out of pocket with you. So I was like, mother knows best. Yeah. So it was like, mother knows best, honey. So that was that. So then we see that, Pray Tell, he gets word that people been trying to look for Castle. Castle was one of the guys that's on the council, and no one's seen him. He goes to Castle's house, and we see that Castle is battling HIV as well, and he can barely walk, and he's got literally this whole pharmacy of methadone and all these drugs. And of course, this definitely alerts Pray Tell, like, what you doing? You planning on taking yourself out? He was like, honey, if I'm gonna do that, I will go to the Plaza Hotel, order room service. I'm gonna go out on top. But he takes a methadone and he gives one to Pray Tell, and he's like, and pretty much they were saying that everybody's been asking about you. Let's go to the ball, and this is the ball that they all gonna walk in. So they go to the ball, and he sits Castle at the bar, and he tells the bartender, you can drink whatever you want, but no alcohol, because he just took a methadone, and methadone and alcohol do not mix. Oh, as soon as Pray Tell walked away, Castle was like, pour me a drink. A matter of fact, pour me a double. So we see that he literally is getting fucked up at this, getting literally fucked up. And then Candy Street Refrain is coming up, and he's going against that damn Lamar. And of course, Lamar and him kind of miss words with each other. He's like, oh, I didn't know they let senior citizens compete in the ball. And she says, yeah, and I heard they also do the same for the dumb and ugly. And he was like, look in the mirror, bitch. Like, throwing shade. So Lamar goes and he lip syncs to If by Janet Jackson. I have to say, Lamar did that shit. Lamar fucking did that. Then Pray Tell goes and does My Lovin' Never Gonna Get It by En Vogue. Does his thing as Pray Tell does, legendary Billy Porter. So he did his shit. And of course they gave it to Pray Tell. Oh, Lamar was pissed. I demand a motherfucking recount. How the hell this old bitch gonna win over me? And then gets one, he pulls out a knife on fucking Pray Tell. I'm like, see, Lamar is doing the most. But it goes to what I said the last time. The The hashtag is legendary. When you are legendary, you will always win over the old heads, especially if you've established relationships with the judges, the council, and you also are known to the crowd. Pray Tell been hosting that motherfucking ball for years. Do you think they was gonna give it to you over Pray Tell, bitch? No! Even though I have to say, if you really want to go by the aesthetic, Lamar won that fucking lip sync. He really fucking did. But there's politics to the ball. And that's something that Lamar don't get because Lamar is young, dumb, and full of cum. So while after he wins, we see that damn Castle collapse at the bar and he goes into a seizure. So they pretty much rush him to the hospital. And then Pray Tell literally is distraught, obviously. He literally takes a methadone and starts drinking shot at the bar. And here go Lamar. See, Lamar decided that instead of having a physical knife, he's going to use a psychological knife and decides to go over there and start turning it. He was like, now you know I really wasn't going to cut you, Pray Tell. I'm sorry about what happened to Castle. It must be sad to see that someone that you love just wither away and knowing that that's going to be your future. Well, at least you'll have a cinch waist when it happens. You know, how the way you be looking at them femme queens. I see you, bitch. Pray Tell didn't say shit. He just got the fuck up, looked at Lamar, and straight decked that ass. And I was like, Lamar, you deserve that shit, bitch. You deserve to get knocked on your fucking back because you have been doing the most. Because at the end of the day, that was not the time. And then also, Cubby just passed away, and you still being this nasty, trifling bitch? Yeah, you deserve to get punched for that shit because that was low. So, after all that happens, this is where we get the motherfucking scene. We get the scene of all scenes. They all are celebrating after they literally swept all 5 categories. So they got the 2,500 to send Pray Tell off. They actually announced that, you know, we noticed that you've been drinking a lot and we noticed that you got a lot on your plate. We want to do something to send you off somewhere to get you some therapy and, you know, get, you know, a place where you can unwind. And at first he was with it. He was like, yeah, I think I do need to get out of town a little bit. I do need to change the scenery. And then here go Poppy, because you know Poppy can't hold water for shit. He's like, oh yeah, just like Lisa said. And he's like, who the fuck is Lisa? She was like, well, she was a therapist that came to meet with us because, you know, she wanted us to write letters to you and all that. And that's when Blanca went to go get them letters. She gave everybody their letters and everything. She read hers first, and she says that, you know, you're a great friend, but when you drink, you are, you know, you're unreachable and you're not dependable and all of that. So of course, Pray Tell's like, unreachable, really, bitch? And then Ricky's letter is what really sparked it. Because Ricky says that I love you, but if this drinking continues, I will have to leave this relationship for good. Oh, he took that letter like, really, motherfucker? You are gonna fucking put damn conditions on our relationship? Really, Ricky? You really gonna do that shit to me? And threw the damn letter in Ricky's face. Ricky got up and he was like, oh, where the hell you think you gonna go, Ricky? Oh, to find Damon? I know you've been waiting to jump back on that dick. I was like, oh no, you're not gonna be insecure, bitch, after how you got Ricky. So it goes to show you that you knew your ass was wrong for even pursuing Ricky because he used to date Damon. You know, Damon was kind of like your nephew, and you literally dated his ex. Like, bitch. But we know the reason why he did that shit is because, one, Ricky gave him that John Shaft. Y'all know about that John Shaft, y'all. John Shaft will make you do life-altering decisions. You could be on to school getting your PhD, and if you get that good John Shaft, you like, oh, fuck this, baby. Let's just start a family. John Shaft will get you do shit like that. Like, you'll have your whole life planned out, and then John Shaft comes and just gives it to you, and everything changes. And we know Ricky gave it to John Shaft because that next day, your ass was dancing down the street, throwing your hat up in the air like you was Mary Tyler Moore, bitch. We saw it. Ricky turned your ass out, and you wanted to keep that dick literally in your home, even though you have no respect for Ricky, even though Ricky is damn near 20 years younger than you. You kept him around because he had that one thing. Because a motherfucker may not have no job, no car, no money, but he got that one thing. Ricky had that one thing, because usually, you know what they say, usually the brokest niggas be the best in bed, honey. Because you kept him there, but yet the whole time you was insecure because you knew damn well he dated Damon, and it's kind of like was kind of like thrown out there, bitch. You felt some kind of way. Because even though you had Ricky, you always in fear that Ricky was going to leave you for a man more his age. So we saw that go on. Then, it gets to the point where, he literally turned it to Richard Pryor and starts roasting everybody at that table. So then that damn Miss Electra's like, well, I'm gonna read. You're emotionally immature, and and then she had said something like he's psychologically disoriented or whatever, and he was like, psychologically disoriented? Bitch, you are a complete narcissist. You have self-delusions of grandeur, Queen of the Now? No. What you are is an aging old granny with dusty furs and an empty bed. I was like, oh shit. Oh, that damn Electra didn't like that shit. She cracked the bottom, was ready to cut his ass. Like, don't you ever talk about me. She's like, yeah, bitch. The only reason why you're keeping these kids around is to make yourself feel important. Because you know damn well at the end of the day, you ain't shit. And then he went to Blanca and was like, oh yeah, Blanca, Miss think that we got everything together. The only reason why that man dating you because he sees you as an HIV charity case. And then Poppy jumped in and was like, yo, you don't need to be talking to my mother like that. He's like, and you, Poppy? Why don't you get you a real job instead of riding on the coattails of your crackhead fiance? And he's like, and then like Angel's like that ain't cool. That ain't cool, pray tell. And he was like, bitch, who the hell talking to you, crackhead? If I want to talk to a crackhead, I'll go in the corner and talk to one. And then he's like, you ain't got, like, that's not nice, pray tell. And he's like, I'm not trying to be nice. I'm like, clearly, bitch, you're not nice at all. Oh my God, that damn scene had me gagged because he roasted everybody on that fucking table. That's why I said in the beginning of this episode of this video, you always have to make sure you have your I's dotted and your T's crossed when you do an intervention. Because if you have one loose screw, oh, trust and believe, that bitch gonna use it on you. And pray tell is that bitch. Like, y'all didn't learn from the first season when y'all tried to intervene with him when he kept playing Love Is the Message over and over again and he was drinking over Cortez? He went off on y'all then. Y'all obviously didn't learn from that first situation till now. Oh my God. So then he pretty much storms the fuck out. Blanca goes after him. He lets it known, bitch, I am not a project and you are not a nurse. So find yourself a project to work on and keep my fucking name out your mouth. And then we see Blanca break down and I'm like, pray tell, you one mean bitch, child. Mean as shit. And then we see we see him at home. Ricky done packed his shit and is about to leave. And here go pray tell again with the evil shit. Oh, really, motherfucker? You gonna leave me? You have no education, no money, no job, no car, and you got HIV. Who the fuck is gonna love you, Ricky? Where the fuck you gonna go? You ain't got shit. Where you gonna go, Ricky? Who the fuck gonna love you? I was like, clearly, bitch, you kept him around for the John Shaft. As I said, like, that's the reason why his ass was there. That's why you locked down on it, because you probably ain't never, because you never felt love like that before, like in the name of Stephanie Mills, bitch. Ricky put it on your ass. And that's why you defended the whole situation. Even last season when they had that big fallout between him and Damon and the whole house of Evangelista. That's the reason why you kept him around, because he tore your frame up, honey. He blessed you. He John Shaft you. And now the nigga ain't got this and ain't got that. Bitch, you knew he ain't had that from the beginning, but you kept him around, didn't you? Nasty ass. So, but I actually have to say I was so proud of Ricky, because Ricky did not fall for the bullshit. He was like, you are not going to use my HIV status to keep me here. You're on a sinking ship and I cannot go down with you. And that's when that damn Pray Tell got aggressive, pushed him against the door and was like, and then he breaks down, because at first you ain't shit. This is an addict, because not only is he addicted to alcohol, Ricky was another drug as well. So then he starts breaking down. No, don't leave me. Don't leave me. Everybody leaves me. Please stay. Don't leave me. And Ricky was like, and I thought that Ricky was like going to be like, okay. But Ricky was like, I can't. And then he's like, get out. Get the fuck out. I was like, ooh, like, bitch. That shit was crazy. Then we see that the next time we see him, Pray Tell goes to a funeral, and he runs into the council, and he looks disheveled and fucked up. And of course, they could have easily went in on him, and they did kind of kiki with him a little bit, throwing light shade, but they embraced him. And then he asked about Castle, and they said that we don't know, because we went by his house, we brought groceries, he wasn't there, and his medicine wasn't there either. Immediately, Pray Tell rushes to the Plaza Hotel, finds Castle. Castle is emotional, and he's like, I couldn't do it. I thought I wanted to die, but I realized I want to live. I want to live. And we see that, he breaks down, and both of them embrace each other. That was a very powerful scene. And he was like, and then, Pray Tell was like, look, Castle, I want to help you live, but you got to get rid of those pills. And then Castle was like, I'll get rid of my pills if you get rid of all your liquor. I want to live, but you need to choose to live as well. And we see that they break down. We see that he actually goes to the hospital. He makes peace with Blanca. And then we see Blanca actually takes him upstate New York to go to the facility. Because in that moment, when he went to the hospital, he says, I drink because I hate myself. And I hate myself because I drink. A clear sign of what an addict is. So she drops him off, and then they're playing Anytime You Need a Friend by Mariah Carey, one of my favorite songs. That scene really moved me, because it shows that their friendship is very deep, and it's always been Blanca and Pray Tell. They're like the best of friends, and it was cool to see her take him to rehab. And we can definitely tell in the car on the way back she was thinking about Damon, but yet she had a piece, the fact that Damon needs to find his way and Pray Tell needs to find his. But also she had a second rendezvous with Christopher and his parents, because she went off on Christopher and was like, why did you sit there and let your mother disrespect me like that? And he says, don't worry, I got you this time. They want to meet with us again. The father was running late because he had to deal with the client. So they just met with the mother. And the mother, again, started with her bullshit. And she's talking about the menu because it's in French. And she's like, this all looks gibberish to me. She's like, oh, you never learned another language, Blanca? And she's like, well, I speak Spanish, fluently, But she's like, but you should have learned French. She was like, I told you I grew up in the Bronx. I grew up in the ghetto. We was learning how to survive day by day. We ain't nobody thinking about no damn French. And she's like, why don't you say what's really on your mind? Just say that you don't think I'm good for your son because I come from the ghetto, or because I don't have a degree, or because I'm transsexual. And then she was like, I knew it. I knew because my husband has transsexual patients. And she says, but I'm not one of your husband's patients. And and then it got to the point she looked at him like, you gonna keep letting her do this shit? Okay, I'm rolling. So as soon as she's about to get up, that damn Christopher pretty much says that, Mom, you have been very disrespectful. You need to stop it, because this is who I love and this is who I'm going to be with. And if you got a problem with that, then you're going to lose me, because this is who I'm with. And they both rolled out of there together. And I was like, you better get her ass together, because that damn mother was just a mess. But I liked it when she read her about them cuticles, honey. That shit made me crack the fuck up. And then Blanca had that look like, yeah, bitch, I see you too. But I was finally happy that Christopher actually stood up for her. And I forgot to mention that on the last episode that the crew finally met Christopher for the first time. He immediately came up in there and started lip locking with Blanca, and everybody's like, who the fuck is this nigga? And they literally, but he fit right in. They embraced him. And it's funny that his family that he said was gonna love her didn't show her the same thing. Now the father is cool. I don't see no issues with the dad, but that damn mother was something else. But that's what I have, y'all. If I missed anything, get down in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. But until next time, everybody, take care.